Paradise episode 6 has been released. At the time of recording this, it came out yesterday. And as we've been doing, we're here for a recap.
Yep.
I throw it to you first.
To recap, that was a setup. Betrayal is what that was.
Yo, why was that such a bad thing? Yo, that was hilarious just now. I can't wait till this clip comes out later. Oh my god. Yo, what was that? You not allowed to recap?
I'm definitely allowed to recap, but I feel
So what
like you
happened
were
just
more
now?
locked in because I feel like off pod you knew that I was not prepared to recap. Like I was not prepared to describe everything that happened in the show this week. I feel like you knew that, but then you threw it to me anyway.
Oh, I can lead it then. I thought you remedied that. I didn't get the update.
I mean,
When
I
we last
did, but
spoke
I'm
about it, you
still,
said,
I did, but to be honest, I rewatched it this morning at like I don't know 8 o'clock this morning, and then I had a long work day, so I don't even. I need a recap of what happened. I
right.
have seen the episode twice though, just so we're clear.
This episode was called Jane,
Yes, that
and it
I
was it
recall.
was largely about Jane and her history. Uh, we go back to the bunker, but
Hmm.
we got to go back in time, of course, because it wouldn't be season 2 without going back in time. So, and for those who are going to criticize, I know we went back in time plenty during the first season, but this season they have doubled down on the flashbacks. All right. So we
It's
learn
also like
about
just a different framework. This season we're going like we're meeting entirely new characters, whereas last season, even though they did flashbacks, they were largely about the people who we were already getting to know in present day.
yeah,
So I don't think it's the same thing.
yeah, but nothing is the same.
Oh, yeah.
This season, nothing is the same. And so
Drake said
we
that too.
Drake said nothing was the same.
All right. Yes, he did. Thanks.
Semantics,
You're good.
man.
Oh, yep, that's you.
Anyway, um, so this is largely about Jane. We learn about her training in the service. We learn about her childhood. We learn about her mother. We learn about Jane's split personality, I want to say. Because they don't specifically say she has a split personality, but she
But does she?
has. Well, that's where I'm a little. That's why I'm saying they kind of tell us, but don't at the same time. Because, for example, she's sitting there as a, I don't know, 9, 10, 11, 12 year old, something. And she's pretty, she's not an infant. She's not a toddler. She's somewhere in her adolescence. And she's sitting there with her imaginary friend having tea. And her mom said, "You're too old to have an imaginary friend." And then later in the episode, when she's standing in front of the mirror acting like Sinatra, it's almost like there's another person there, and then Jane kind of snaps out of it. So I don't know. Maybe, maybe not, but we learn about Jane. We learn about how she came to
I don't think so.
hone her skills.
Hmm.
What'd you say?
I said I don't think so. I just thought she was manipulative. That's what I gathered from it. Like she can because okay, if you could finish doing the recap and then because maybe you'll get to what I'm thinking.
Okay. Um, when she's in the mirror acting like Sinatra, she kind of snaps out of it
Mm-hmm.
and then the therapist is there, which is we at the very end of the episode right now where I'm at, which we missed some key things I'll have to come back to. But
Mm-hmm.
the therapist tells her, I know about you. I'm coming for you. Oh no, she says, I know about you, and I know about Sinatra.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming for Sinatra. And Jane says very cornily, if there is such a word, in very corny fashion, you want to get to Sinatra, you got to go through me.
Yep.
Mm. And so that's how the episode ends. But largely, that's what this episode is about. Jane, it's also about the things going on in the bunker. Sinatra has regained her power by Jedi mind tricking the billionaires. They voted back to give her power. Presley, which is Xavier's daughter, Presley flips on her babysitter, and also uh presses Sinatra's daughter, Haley, or something like that. I don't know her name. Hadley, Haley, something, whatever.
Hadley, maybe.
Whatever, who cares? Sinatra's daughter, that's who she is. Okay. Annie's baby, Sinatra's daughter. All right,
Good one.
that's it.
Good one.
So
Yep.
Sinatra's daughter, Presley presses her, and she's like, "Yo, man, what's up? What's up with your mom? Like, what's
What
going
up,
on
though?
around here?" Hmm?
What up, though?
Right. So she says, like, people are disappearing. My boyfriend is locked up. Don't nobody know where he's at. And she's channeling her inner Xavier. And so Sinatra's daughter presses Sinatra. She inquires some of the things that are going on, and Sinatra doesn't really deny it. Sinatra's like, yeah, I was in the hospital when some of those things were happening, and I'm working to fix that. And she says, I am Sinatra, yes, but it's just a code name. And her daughter calls bullshit. She's like, yeah, but why your name was in the sky that day, though? Remember your name was in the sky? What was that about? And so
Ribbons
Sinatra
in the
says, like,
sky for our love.
you know, Sinatra tells her, I'm working to just make things happen around here. And I'll get to those people who were, harshly punished and shouldn't be in prison. I'll get to them shortly. And Sinatra's daughter flips on Sinatra and tells Presley in a text message, which I don't know how she had her number, but she magically texts her in the middle of the night and says, I know what's going on and I want to help. Also, back in the real world, uh, Sinatra has Jane go outside and negotiate with the folks who have come to Colorado and are outside the bunker. Jane uses her meditative powers, clears her mind and I'm sorry. She strong arms one of the dudes. She has him in a chokehold, and he can't get out. And so I just it made me laugh because they make sure to tell us that she's 105 pounds, but also this grown man couldn't do anything to Jane, and that's what made me laugh because I'm just like he could have did so many things.
He could have, but I feel like it was strategic to not do
Sure.
anything to her because she's their way in. They couldn't really. I mean, they could have like tried to kill her or harm her or kidnap her, but then that wouldn't really help them.
Correct.
It wouldn't get them inside of the bunker. They need her to go back and say that they're okay with whatever have you so that they can actually make it into the bunker. So
Right. So
yeah, I
Sinatra
thought that
knew.
too as I was watching it, but then I was like, yeah, I don't see a world where it makes sense for them to try to like strong arm her or anything like that because she was the one holding the power in while she's standing in front of them, obviously.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Excuse me. Um.
Yawned on the truth.
Yeah. So Sinatra knew what they were gonna do. Sinatra knew exactly what terms they would agree to, and they did. And you know, she gives Jane a Nintendo Switch as a present. And Jane turns like into a little girl in that moment. And she's very thankful. And at the same time, one of the things we learned about Jane, who says herself, I'm a weapon. I need someone to control the weapon and tell me where to aim. We learn about part of what she did as an agent in training. She chopped off the member of a superior officer to help another member gain seniority because she feels her friend, her mentor, was wrongfully overlooked for a position she was trying to get. Back in the real world once again, we have Xavier, who is at the train, ready to blow stuff up. And of course, good old Gary betrays him. Good old Gary tries to kill Xavier. And I
Gary's a
was wrong.
liar.
Gary is 100% a
And
liar.
a
Gary's a piece of shit.
murderer.
Yes. Yes, he is. And he tries to kill Xavier. Xavier figures it out just in time to not die. And as the train crew comes to see what the hell is going on, who pushes past the crowd? Oh, excuse me. What's going on?
Husband. Hi.
Oh my God.
It's you.
And Terry is with the train folks.
Yes, she is.
I think that's all of the episode. Now
Yeah.
you can go.
So, okay, back to Jane for a second. So, I don't think she has multiple personalities. I think that Jane regresses into childhood, but I don't think that it's multiple personalities. And I think that she uses certain tactics to manipulate. And the reason I think that, because I wondered that too, but the reason I think what I think is because of the scene where, or the scenes where you learn about her and the training that she's had, and them telling her, well, this is how you have to do it in order to get far, being who you are, and you're a girl, you're 105 pounds, you're this, you're that, you have to use what you got, basically. And I think that's what she does. I think that throughout even season 1, she used the fact that she's this small girl, with the long hair and the blue eyes, and she can kind of maneuver herself into situations and people will not think anything of it. And I think that's what she does. So I do think that she regresses in certain moments, like the moment with the Nintendo Switch, and the moment then she turned to the daughter, and the daughter kind of was like, "Bitches, you cool?"
Right. The daughter was like, I don't know what's up with you, but I don't really give a fuck either.
She was like, your mommy's great. And then she was fine with it. Then she kept like going, and then her daughter was like, "Okay."
Right.
Like, girl, what is you doing? So,
Right.
so I think those moments happen, but I don't necessarily think that she's switching personalities. I don't think that she's necessarily unaware of what she's doing, and then some, like, another personality is taking charge. I don't think that's what's happening. But yeah, I do believe that there is a lot of manipulation. I do believe that she has mental health issues. I believe all of that. I just think she has a different issue than that. Now, first of all, I was so excited to see Ryan Michelle Bathay. Hey, Sterling K. Brown's wife. I've been waiting for her to arrive. We didn't know what she would be doing. We just knew that she wouldn't be doing it with him. He doesn't like. He always says he doesn't want to work with his wife on stage. He doesn't want to be on the same stage.
I respect that.
He says that all the time. They are in a very seemingly very happy and loving marriage. He just
Right. And let's
that is
not
his
fuck it up.
that's yes, that is his deal breaker right there.
Yeah.
Because she's always like, just a couple days ago, she was doing an interview and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I would love to do a show with him," and she's like, "But he says absolutely not," and it's true. Even when they do red carpets together, he makes it very clear he's not. No, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's cool that she's on the show, and I also think it's cool. I did not realize that she is the one who is hosting the official podcast for the show right now. So I thought that was pretty cool. So they listen, okay, they're getting two checks from the same
Yeah. Yeah. Why
from
not?
the same production. Why not?
Yeah, but knowing your boundaries and knowing your relationship and what could affect it is important.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you
That's
don't
why
like
that's why Jay-Z be on the road with Beyonce.
right. And they have a show together, right? They
Hmm.
have their
They have a pod.
podcast. So it's
Mhm.
not that they don't do anything together. It's just that this is like this that is the line for them, and I think that's totally
Yeah.
fine. She was even saying she got on set and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I felt like wow, I need to really make sure that I do a good job because this is his job." And he's like this big Emmy award winning guy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, he's my husband, but he's this
Right?
big. She was like, I can't be the one to disgrace the family.
Exactly.
I gotta show up and do a good job too. So
Right.
I thought that was cute, but I think she's right. Like I think you know I think there's boundaries are important as well. So I I enjoy seeing her on my screen, but also I was like, Jane, Jane, is that really what's in that bag? Come on, Jane. Jane. I knew it.
You
As soon
know.
as they didn't show us what happened to that man, I said, "Oh, okay. All right."
I
I
have to
only
be very
wished.
honest. Oh, you
Uh-huh.
first. No, you first.
I was gonna say, and I don't really like gore and a whole lot of blood and all of that, but I actually wish they would have played that out a little bit differently, and I wish Jane would have given her the bag and she would have looked inside of it and then been like, you know.
Right.
So yeah, but that's fine. That was a small piece. But what were you gonna say?
I appreciate them acknowledging that this was a girl power situation,
Yeah.
but when they're like, he only got the job because he got a dick, I was like, all right, Paradise, what are we doing now? And then Jane came back with the bag and was like, well, you said that he only got the job because he had a dick, and so now that's not a problem anymore. I was like, really? That's what we're doing? We just cutting niggas' dicks off now? Like, it's really whack to me that that's the answer. Like, there was mad other shit you could have taken off of his body that would have impeded him from getting the job. His head. There's plenty of other limbs that were available
I
that you
don't
could
think
have
so.
taken off if that's the route we were going. But you didn't have to take any limbs off.
I disagree.
All right. And this is the bullshit.
Here's the reason I disagree. Because I just said that I believe that she is in some sort of regression. So she reverts
I'm
to a
talking about
child.
the writers of the show. I ain't talking about Jane.
Okay. Okay.
I'm saying writers of the show. Really? That's where we had to go to. He got a dick, so we got to chop his dick off. Come on, dog. So much other stuff we could have done as a writer. That's me. That's my opinion. I feel like that was really, really corny. And it's like such an easy out for women to just be like, well, chop his dick off, chop his dick off, chop his dick off, chop his dick off. It's like there's mad other shit you could do.
I guess the irony of it is that most of the time it doesn't actually happen. Even if people say it, even if women say it, it doesn't usually happen. So I think what made this interesting was that it wasn't an empty threat. Well, not by the person who made it, but I'm just
But she never
saying
made a threat. She just said,
she didn't.
she didn't say it would be better if he didn't have a dick. She just said, he only got the job because he's got a dick.
You're right, but Jane was carrying out what she thought was
And
also
also, you first.
Jane operates, and I think they say this, or I don't know if this could have been a recap video I watched. I don't know, but Jane operates. Jane operates in a way where, yes, she's like, oh, I'm in control, but also Jane kind of needs a vessel.
But
If
Jane
you
said that.
notice. Okay, so it was said. I couldn't
Yeah, I said
remember
it.
if it
Jane
was.
told Sinatra, I'm a weapon. I need somebody who's going to use the weapon. Point me in a
Right.
direction.
So this was like what I guess an earlier iteration of that, where it was
And
almost like she
that's
took it
okay.
as a command. I understand that you're talking about the writers. I was just trying to get back to the story of it all and like how we even get there. Um, so I don't know. I mean I hear you.
It's whack.
I understand what you're saying, and
It's
I
whack
get
that
it.
it's always dick threats. That's my point. And let's take it a step further. In 2026, with all the gender transitioning, fluidity, all of that, this is when you want to chop a dick off? This is when you want to literally say having a dick makes him a man? This was a poor choice.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to do, and
It was a
in
poor choice. It
this
was
2026,
unnecessary. It was
I
corny.
agree with that.
Corny. But they've been corny this season. So hey, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Did you like this episode? I didn't feel like it was great. Again.
I thought it was okay. I don't think I like this season, so I don't know if it's. I don't know to say I like the episode or not. I don't know if that even matters. I don't really like the season. Um,
Because last season, episode 6 was the one.
it was.
And this season, there has not been a one.
No, there hasn't.
Episode 3, which was the full bunker episode, I think. If I remember correctly, that was episode 3. That was probably the best one so far.
Yeah, that was episode 3.
But that wasn't great either. It was just like, all right, we finally getting somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I do. I do. I am glad that we found Terry. I hate that she was just gone, and then we had to go through all of that to figure out where she was, because we knew where she had been.
Right.
That to me was frustrating, because it's like we spent the entire season last season not knowing what happened to Terry. Then we get here and we don't actually see her like in a real time scene until episode 6. That's so annoying to me
Yeah.
because it's only 8 episodes.
Yeah.
She's clearly not she's clearly not a main character. I understand that, but it's just frustrating because again, I feel like they gave us way too much of Annie and could have given us more of this.
Right.
Like I like cliffhangers, but this irritated me. That they see
Understandably
each
so.
other and then that's the end of the episode. And we're heading into episode 7.
Yep. 2 episodes left for the season and only 10 episodes left for the show.
You could have given me that cliffhanger 3 episodes ago.
Yes.
So that was my frustration with that. Although I am glad that we have finally, like, they have finally laid eyes on one another. I don't know what's gonna happen because obviously not everybody's about to come after Xavier. I don't know if she is going to be able to snap her fingers and say, "Please don't shoot my husband." I don't know.
I'm going to
Um,
say yes.
but I'm just. And then what happens to Gary?
Well, that's probably the easy part. They're probably just going to kill Gary.
Gary. Gary didn't have to go out like this.
He didn't. Oh, we didn't even talk about the president's son, Agent Robinson, and the
Agent
engineer.
Robinson, who's a badass. I
They,
love Agent Robinson.
Agent Robinson kicked ass, literally and figuratively.
I feel
And
like she's
now,
underutilized this season.
I see why you say that. Now the president's son, who I can't remember his name, but the president's son, and the engineer of the whole shebang, the whole bunker, are going through an underground tunnel to try to open all of the doors of paradise.
Yeah.
I think
For
that
all
was
the
the most
dogs.
exciting part.
Yep.
For all the dogs. Yep. Yep. So
Yeah, that was exciting. I think she's bringing that action, and we need
yeah,
some of that.
absolutely. And I'm curious to see what's going to happen. The reason I say it's probably the best part of the episode is because, yeah, she was right. They were obvious. They were doing some rookie shit. She saved them. I'm cool with all of that. But to me, the most exciting part about it being them getting to the tunnel and going in the tunnel, because now it's like, oh, so they really about to open all the doors? What's going to happen? Because that is when it gets real. Because the people of paradise are going to be trying to leave out, and the people of the real world are going to be trying to come
Trying to
in.
get in.
Yeah. Also, one last thing. Did you peep that the hallway Jane was walking out before she went outside is the same hallway we keep getting flashbacks of with Xavier and Annie's baby daddy?
I didn't catch that, but that makes sense. Yeah.
That's the same hallway.
So the train people are gonna make it there.
It's a flashback they're both getting, or a dream they're both
Flash
getting.
forward.
So I guess we'll see what happens. They'll have to reveal it, but to me, that looked like the same hallway.
Well, the tagline for the season has been "All will be revealed," and I'm just like, when can we?
Right.
Y'all revealed this lady Annie and then killed her.
Yeah.
I can't stress enough how angry I am at this Annie storyline that like stole from. I understand that it's based on a book series, whatever it was. I get that it's an adaptation. It is. I get that it's an adaptation. And for people who read the books, I think it's
Oh, I didn't know that.
plural books. I believe it is, yeah. I think that's why they always knew that it was going to end in season 3. Yeah, but that whole Annie thing was bullshit. And again, creative license, you didn't have to make it, you didn't have to take us through two and a half episodes of that.
Right.
Just for us to get here. And I'm just so frustrated. I didn't think that I would really be this upset with season 2, and I'm just really frustrated with it. I feel like the next 2 episodes are going to be like bangers, and I'm still going to be upset.
I don't know. I don't believe that. I hope so, because maybe that will save the season. But
maybe
6 episodes in, still no super hot fire.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know. I do think they're gonna try to like really hit it out of the park the next 2 episodes because of the way the season has gone so far.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Guess we'll see.
We've already talked about it for too long.